I'm Nasaya, and this is my channel, Let Her Talk. Let Her Talk is about being able to speak your mind freely and not caring what nobody else is going to say. I'm the type of woman that has a lot on my mind every single day. There's not a day that go by where I don't have something I want to speak about, whether it's something I care about, whether it's something I just have an opinion on, or whether I just want to ramble. So this is Let Her Talk. I'm going to be talking. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts with y'all. I may let other people come share their thoughts with y'all. But today I want to talk about self-love. I feel like self-love is a topic that's always talked about, but it's always talked about in a way of like, oh, well, I'm giving myself self-love because I go get my hair done, or I go get my nails done, or I make sure I got the flyest outfits on. But if we being honest, self-love has nothing to do with those things. Now, do they play a little part? Yes, but all in all, self-love stems from within. Self-love is getting up every day and making sure you tell yourself that you're beautiful, even if you don't feel like it. Self-love is cutting off people that means you know well, even if you love them so much that you feel like you don't know how you could go forward without them. That's self-love. Self-love is not sticking with somebody, whether it be a job, a friend, a man, a woman, your parents, anybody. It's not sticking beside somebody because you love them so much that you're willing to compromise your own values. You're never supposed to compromise what you believe in for anyone, because that's the ultimate form of self-love. You should come before anybody. And most people would be like, oh, that's selfish. Oh, that's inconsiderate. But it's not. What's selfish is you letting somebody else come before you. What's selfish is you compromising your beliefs and your integrity because you want to people please. That's selfish. And you never want to devalue yourself, or you never want to not be loyal to self. And I think that's part of like where we get this thing of not trusting others. We lack so much self-trust with ourselves that we can't trust anybody else. It's hard for us to trust anybody else because it's like, damn, I don't even trust myself to cut off what's the name if he do me fucked up. Or I don't even trust myself enough to cut off my friend when she stabbed me in the back 20 times. And it's like, if you can't trust yourself enough to do what's needed to do for your best interest, then you can never trust nobody outside of you. And that's where it comes into play, where I always tell people, like, people only value things as deeply as they value themselves. So if you don't value yourself and you let everybody in your life dictate things for you, and you let them walk all over you, and you're scared to lose people, you don't love yourself enough. And you have to love yourself enough to know that although I love you, I love me more. And although I value you, I value me more. So no, you can't come over here and disrespect me. No, you can't come over here and use me. No, you can't tell my business and think that we still gonna be cool. No, you can't cheat on me and think I'm still gonna let you back like this is a revolving door, because it's not. And I think that it gets hard for people to be alone sometimes, because when you alone, you tend to think that you're lonely. But no, sometimes solitude is the best thing that you can ever do for yourself. You learn so much more about yourself, and you learn the most ultimate thing you could ever have for yourself, which is self-love and self-value. Without solitude, you wouldn't know the things that you cherish the most. You wouldn't know what's important to you because you're so used to being told what should be important to you or how you should move. And self-love, from my own experience with self-love, I spent the last couple of years I've spent learning myself. And I'm still learning myself. It's like a never-ending journey. It doesn't stop, because you discover one part of yourself, and then you discover another part of yourself that you didn't even know that you had. So it started off like I lacked boundaries, and I used to be people-pleasing, and I used to come up with excuses for a lot of things that I did the way that I did, for the things that I did. And I used to be like, oh, well, I'm only doing this because I love you, or I'm only acting this way because I'm just so forgiving. But it wasn't the case. It was just I lacked boundaries with myself. Every time I told myself that I wasn't going to do something, I did it. Every time I told myself that, oh, I wasn't going to talk to myself this way, I did it. And it was like, I lack self-trust for myself. I lack boundaries with myself. I lack self-love for myself. So I kept running into people that would reinforce these things that I believe to be true about myself. I believed that I wasn't good enough for a love that just loved me just as I am. So I ran into men that made me feel like I had to be something different for them to love me. Or I believed that, oh, I can only be friends with people that if I was this way. So I ran into friends who I had to put on the facade for in order for them to like me. But then I woke up one day and I was like, this shit just this just does not work for me, because it just didn't. It didn't work for me. And for a long time, I tried to convince myself, like, maybe I'm just being too hard, or maybe I'm just looking at things in a negative way. And it's like, no. I spent so much time not giving myself the love that I deserved, that when I finally decided that I wanted to give myself the love that I deserved, that I had to question everything in my life. I had to question, why am I friends with this person? Why am I still talking to this man? Why am I still at this job that I hate? Why am I still doing the things that I don't want to do? I had to question everything, because if I value myself and I loved myself enough, I wouldn't be friends with somebody that betrayed me. I wouldn't be dating somebody that's cheated on me or that does not see my value. I wouldn't be at a job that I hate so much, and every time I go in there, my stomach turns. I wouldn't be there if I valued myself enough. So I had to look in the mirror and I had to start asking myself, like, Nasiah, what is it within you that makes you feel like you deserve the things that you're being given? Because I will always say, I don't deserve to be treated like this. I don't deserve for people to do me wrong. And it was like victim. I was just living in a victim mindset. And it was like, no, you do deserve those things, because those are the things that you think you deserve, because those are the things that you keep tolerating. And it was hard for me to come to that acceptance, like, I did this to me, nobody else, me. I did this to me. I made myself feel invaluable. I made myself feel like I didn't deserve more than crumbs. I did that to me. And I had to stop being mad at the people that I allowed in my life to reinforce these things, because I was mad. I was mad at the man that I allowed to come in my life and give me breadcrumbs and mislead me and tell me whatever I wanted to hear. I was mad at him. I was mad at the friends who didn't show up for me while I showed up for them. I was mad at them. I was mad at the jobs who did not value my work, because I felt like I was the best employee. I was mad at them. But I had to realize that man only not giving you breadcrumbs is because you running after the breadcrumbs, picking them up. Them friends only not valuing you and not showing up for you because you don't show up for you. That job only does not value you and makes you feel like you got to work extra hard is because you make yourself feel like that. And once I not remembered, but I guess I could say remembered, but once I realized that, I did a 180 on my life. I sat down with myself. I talked to myself. And people be always asking me, like, you talk to yourself? I did, because how better else way to know yourself than to talk? That's why this is Let Her Talk, because what better way to know yourself than to talk and to express yourself to the person, to the source? I'm the one that need to go within and figure out what's wrong with me. I can't go to somebody else and ask them, why you think I'm behaving like this? They don't know. They only gonna speak from their own experiences. So I had to ask myself, like, what makes you think that you deserve a man that only gives you breadcrumbs? I come to find out it was because I lost my dad at a young age, and that's not the reason that I thought that I deserved breadcrumbs, but I was desperate for love. I'm not scared to be honest for who I used to be. I'm not. I was so desperate for love that I was willing to accept anything as love. If that meant I could turn a blind eye to the things that I needed to work on within me, and I just got to chase you, that's what I did. So I would sit there with men that would degrade me sometimes, or just treat me the way that I did not want to be treated. And then I would just be sad afterwards, and I'd be like, why do you keep letting men do this to you? But it was because I did it to me. Every day I would wake up, I would say mean things to myself. I wouldn't value the promises that I made to myself. I would say I was going to do something and then do another. So it was easy. It was easy for me to allow people to come in my life and treat me like shit, because I've always treated me like shit. So when it comes to self-love, you have to learn. And it does not come overnight. It really does not. You have to learn. Every day I practice self-love. I really do. You have to learn to love yourself through every fucking season. And even the days when I wake up and I feel like I don't know if I'm fully 100% there, that's okay if I'm only 75% today. I'm still going to love myself. I'm not going to sit around here and beat myself up and tell myself, no, do better, be better. You can't be this way, because that's not true self-love. That's actually more so self-hate. I'm not going to push myself when I feel like I need to rest. I'm not going to overwork myself because I don't feel like my life should be hard. And when I say that to people all the time, they look at me like, okay. But I really don't. It's not even like a feeling. It's a knowing. My life is not supposed to be hard. Nothing in this life will ever be hard for me. In the moment that it is hard for me, it's no longer for me. And I make sure I remind myself of that. If people come into my life and I don't agree with how they treating me, I leave them at the first sign of it. I'm not going to sit around and let you mistreat me, because I don't treat me bad anymore. I don't disrespect me anymore. So I'm not gonna let somebody come in my life and disrespect me or make me feel like I'm not good enough, because I know I'm good enough. And if you don't feel that way, that's 110% fine. I'm not mad at you. It's somebody else that is waiting for you out there, and they've been praying for you, they've been looking for you, and they willing to love on you. That's just not me, because you're not willing to love on me the same way I'm willing to love on you. And I'm not looking to be in this thing where I'm always overextending myself and pouring into people cups that can't pour into me. I did that for so long. I did that for probably, I'm 22 now. I think I did that for the last, let's just be honest, like 21 years. It wasn't until this last year where I really was just like, I'm done. I can't keep overextending myself to people who don't value me. I can't keep pouring into cups that don't pour into me, because then I'm left with nothing. And then people kept on saying like, oh, you changing, you're changing. But it was like, and at first I was like, damn, maybe I am. But then I was like, that was the point. The point was for me to change, because I did not like the person I was when I lacked boundaries. I did not like the person that I was when I lacked self-respect. I did not like the person that I was when I did not value myself. So yeah, I'm glad that I changed, and I'm glad that you could see that I've changed, because maybe we're just no longer in alignment. Maybe you're meant for different things and I'm meant for different things, and that's fine, because you served your purpose with me in my life, just as if I served my purpose with you in your life. And I'm not mad at how our journey went. I'm not mad about how things ended. I send you love. I send you light. And I wish you the best on the rest of your life. But at some point, you have to love yourself enough to know when to cut ties with people and don't stay in places too long. The worst thing you could do for yourself is stay somewhere for too long, and now you just in stagnation, or you just repeating the same cycle and over and over and over again. And it's like, don't do that to yourself, love. Especially when you know you're so full of love and you got so much love to give, everybody else can see it too. And you got people that's going to come around you and they going to suck the life out of you just because they know you got so much love to live. And they going to feel like, oh, well, she'll be back. She always been there. She always been a good friend. Even if I don't show up for her, I know she gonna show up for me. You got people out here that do that to you, and you don't want to be around them people. So you have to learn to love yourself enough to let people go. Even if that means you got to be in solitude for a couple years or a couple months, couple weeks, however long. Even if that means you have to learn to become your own best friend and go out and do stuff by yourself. I have started taking myself on dates. I just started valuing myself a little more. I didn't want to wait around for a man to take me out somewhere. So guess what I did? I took myself on dinner dates. I took myself on lunch dates. I went to music little recitals and like candlelight jazz things. I went on a solo trip. I did so many stuff, so much stuff to pour into me. And it wasn't even just like the actions that I did, like far as like spending money on myself, because like I said, self-love does not come from materialistic things. Self-love comes from the work that you do within inside. I sat down with myself and I talked to myself, and I asked myself, why did I feel I deserved the people that was in my life? Why did I feel like I deserve to have fast love? Why did I feel like the person that I am and the love that I give to people, I don't deserve back? And I decided that that's not the life that I want to live. And it took me a long time to come to that conclusion, because I was scared. Because change is scary. And if you're not scared, then are you really changing? I was scared as hell. I was like, I don't know. And I found myself being at the peak every time I was about to change. And I go back to what I knew, because I was just like, what if that don't work for me? But this time I realized, like, it's got to work for me. That's the only option that there is for me. Everything always works for me. It's me. Everything is always in my favor because it's me. There is nothing in this life that will not work out for me. And once I started believing that and knowing that, I stopped caring about who shows up for me. I stopped caring about who's in my life. I'm in my life. I show up for me every day. When I fall down on my face, I pick myself up. When I'm sad and I'm crying, I wipe my tears. When I need somebody to say I look beautiful, I do that for myself. So I don't care to keep people in my life that no longer adds value to me or that no longer can reciprocate the things that I give. I just don't care no more. And for a long time I did care. But the moment that you stop, and it's not like a I don't care, an ego thing. It's more of a like, I send you love, but I no longer care to be in the same room as you. I no longer care to keep up with what you have going on. I no longer care because, like I said, the people that's for me will find me. What's for me will always be for me. And if you're not for me, that is 110% okay. I'm no longer upset about that. I'm no longer going out of my way to try to figure out how we can make things work, or let's talk it out because we supposed to be friends and do all of this and that. Nothing in my life is supposed to be hard. I don't wish to fall out with a friend and get back cool. I don't wish to fall out with a man and have to forgive him. I don't wish to argue with you 24/7 and get back. No, try to get back right. I don't wish for that in my life. I don't wish for nothing in my life to be hard. And like I said before, at the moment that it's hard, it has to go, because that's not the type of love I give myself. I don't wish to be in no type of struggle love, platonic or romantic. I don't wish for that. And I think sometimes we get so caught up and used to being in certain relationships that it can become easy to be with somebody that offers you a struggle love, because that's all you've known. And when that's all you know, that's all you know. And it becomes comforting. It becomes like a thing of like, well, this is what I've always done, so how could this not be right? But at some point, a part of you know, like, nah, this don't sit right with my spirit. This don't sit right with my soul. And once I started feeling that, I knew, like, a part of me must lack a lot of self-love for me to even be dealing with the shit that you offering me, for me to be dealing with the things that you bring me, for me to even think that this type of thing is okay. I must lack so much self-love, and I did not like that, because the only person that I have to be, or the only person that I have to love in this lifetime more than anything, is me. Everything outside of me is a reflection of how much I love myself, and the people in my life were showing me how much little love that I have for myself, that I had to let go of everybody. I had to date everybody. I had to reinvent myself. I had to show myself that I was worthy of a love that cares about me. I was worthy of a love that reciprocates the love that I get. I was worthy of friends that shows up for me. I was worthy of a man that does the things that I do. I was worthy of a man that plans, that leads, that has holds emotional support for me, and gives me the things that I need. Vice versa with friends. Like, I had to learn that I was worthy of all these things, and for a long time I did not feel that way. So I settled. I settled for half-ass everything in my life. Settled for half-ass jobs, settled for half-ass men, settled for half-ass friends. But these days I don't half-ass myself. These days I love myself. These days there ain't nobody in the room that can say nothing to me that I won't just be like, projection. That's how you feel about you. That's nothing to do with me, boo. I just can't these days. These days I don't care about anything outside of myself, because I know that the moment that I do start feeding in the bullshit outside of myself, that's just me reinforcing something that I already feel within myself. But I'm whole. So even if somebody says something nasty to me, like I said, I know it's self-projection. You feel that way about yourself. It has nothing to do with me, love. So I will send you love. I will tell you I love you. I will tell you I hope you find peace, because I do. Because everybody deserves peace. Even the meanest, most nastiest people in the world, they deserve peace too. They just hurt. And when I say this to people, they be like, they not just hurting, they just evil. And maybe they are. But that don't mean that they don't deserve love. I feel like all evil and hate could be washed out with a little bit of love. There's no darkness without light, and there's no light without darkness. So we have to learn to, although I don't want you in my life no more, although I don't want you to breathe the same air that I breathe, I had to learn to still love. I still love you. I still care about you, but it's from a distance now. You won't be able to embrace my presence. You won't be able to get the full things of what I used to give you anymore, because I love me now. And although I still love you, it's from a distance. Although I still care about you, it will always be from a distance. I can't afford to lose me while I love you. I can't afford to lose my mental while trying to repair you. These days, I love me more than I love anything. And I'm willing to let everything in my life go if that means that I get to keep me. And I didn't, for a long time, I did not feel that way. But self-love taught me a lot. Solitude taught me a lot. And I wrote this poem called Happy Birthday to Me. And it speaks about how I had to reinvent myself, like rebirth, like, and learn. I'm just gonna read it to you, and y'all can tell me y'all intake in the comments. I don't know. It goes like, happy birthday to me. It's not my birthday, but happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to the woman I'll be reborn to be. I'm here celebrating this new version of me. I woke up and I decided it was time I spread my wings. I no longer have to fight. This life comes with ease. They say in life there's no guarantees, but In this life, I write the story, so I beg to disagree. I've been putting me first, me and all my needs. At first, I thought it was selfish, but then I realized I'm not here to people please. I do things on my terms, and if that makes you uncomfortable, you're more than welcome to leave. I no longer hold space for things that don't align with this new embodiment of me. Life has taught me so many things. Forever grateful for the lessons that the universe brings. It's as if I've been given keys that open the doors to a lifetime of possibilities. In my new life, I have no room for liabilities. I've been loving on this new version of me. I finally awakened to the woman I was born to be. So again, happy birthday to me.